So a lot of people like to sketch and draw on paper first because it's more natural than on the computer, which is completely understandable. So what you can do that for your illustration. If you have the pen mouse that was recommended, that might be easier for you just to sketch your line work on the computer. But if not, then this is perfectly fine. So let's just say that you have your sketch, and you would perhaps spend a little bit more time on this than what I'm doing now. I'm just kind of loosely putting it in. So what you would do is, more refined and particular line work, and then you're ready to, you have a template in which once you import this onto the computer, you would take a photograph of this and then go open it into the computer, so you would have a draft of your line work on there. But let me try. See if this will work. Once you have imported a photograph of your sketch into Pixlr, the very first thing you need to do is create another layer. I already had a blank layer as my background. Think of it like my wall color, and then I have my sketch that I need to be able to toggle on and off so that I can see my drawing. So the first thing you're going to do is create a new layer. So click that plus sign and then just click empty. Now you have this blank space, and everything that you draw is not going to be on your reference photo. A couple things that you may not have existed. So I have all this drawing in there, but remember that your illustration is not editing a photo. So I'm not taking my drawing and then editing it. That's not what you're doing. You are creating lines and shapes and brushing over the top of it in the program. So a couple things that you can do. You can create lines with the pen tool. So this is the pen tool, and it just creates more crisp line work. So it's the brush tool, we can fill broad areas of color. With the pen tool, you are doing more lines. So I've selected ink. Depending on what you pick, it's going to have a different effect. So I have ink, and then I could draw my line work over it. Now this could be good for curvy lines. It would not be good for straight lines, as you can see. So I have a box there. If you have a steady hand. Now if you have the pen mouse tool that I've suggested, then drawing wouldn't be as difficult. But then you can see how with the pen I can get some curvier lines. And if I hide my photo layer, then you can see my line work is starting to come into play. Let me delete those lines, and let's show you if you need something a little bit straighter. So I'm going to zoom in. If you don't know how to do that, I'm just using the scroll wheel on my mouse. If you don't have one of those, you can use the navigate area toggle towards the plus sign, and that will zoom in for you, and you can click and drag that way. Also with the hand tool, the shortcut for that is the space bar. Then you can click and drag your canvas. Just a couple things for you. So under the shape tool, if you hover, that's the square and the circle here, it shows you that you can create squares, circles, and lines. So I already have it selected there. You may have to select it. And you can adjust how transparent, the width of the stroke, anything like that. So let me show you. If this was way high, then you're going to create a super broad line. If it is lower, where it probably needs to be, then you can create a thinner line. So what you do is you click and hold, click, hold, and then drag. Click, hold, drag. Click, hold, drag. Click, hold, drag. And you can create nicer lines this way. So you can't just click and then click. You have to click and hold to create those lines. So a lot of people didn't know that you can create straight lines this way in Pixlr, and obviously it's a super handy thing for you. So I'm just going to create a couple lines just to demonstrate, and then I'm going to show you the Bezier tool as well. So if I hide that, I can see my line work very, very quickly and easily starting to take place. So remember, you're not editing the photo. You actually need to be drawing over the top of it. So let me go a little bit closer into my snake here and show you the Bezier tool. If you wanted to select an area that has a curve, you could do that as well, and then paint in that one area. Let me go all the way over to where my whole snake is in view. And I'm going to use the Bezier tool, show you how to do that. So you're going to click, you always want to remember where your starting point is, so find an actual point. So I'm going to click here, click at the start, click on another area, and then you set the curve. So it's actually 3 clicks, 1, 2, there's your third. Then it's going to bring you back to this point where you could go to set the next curve. Click up here, set that curve, and then it brings you back here. If you don't want a curved line, then you can just kind of click again